What are you? Look at this. Look at this.
Stand back. One arrow should do it.
Stand back, you say? Well, I'm going to stand right here. Uh-oh, that actually did kill me. We have to stop him.
Who's gonna annoy me now?
We have to stop the sex Flanders, which is a thing now. And I'm all for it. Before we do that, let me just go back to this section. Oh no, oh! Undo that, undo that, undo that, undo that, undo that. You didn't see that. So I think this next one might be pretty bad, but the picture was so funny I just had to buy it, alright? Let's just... Oh my god. Krampus seeing the opportunity to strike and just kicked him off! Right. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. What do we want? We want people's money. When do we want it? As soon as possible. I am ready to win. I need to win one of these damn games.
Age 28.
Oh! The old lady is on it. Of course she is. She is loving life. She's hating it. She's hating it, but I'm loving it. I don't think he got that much.
Let's check out the cash total so far.
How did that happen? Muck around? Don't mind if I do. That was 2022 on the channel, or at least a few clips from it anyway. Hello everyone, welcome back to another anniversary video. Back once again, this time celebrating a whopping 12 years on YouTube. That's right, way back on January the 10th, 2011, I started this little old YouTube channel, and here we are, 2023. I'm still here, still going, somehow. And as is the case with these anniversary specials, there is nothing truly special about this. It's just going to be me rambling into a microphone for 20 minutes, reflecting on the previous year and how it went, and contemplating the year ahead and what it has in store. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say, before starting this video, I looked up. You know how for anniversary milestones, there's always a certain gift you're meant to get related to? So I think one of the early ones is paper, and then you get some weird ones in the middle, and then you start getting the gems, you know, sapphire and silver, gold, diamond. I looked up what the 12-year one was, and it's silk and linen. So if anyone wants to get me some nice silk pajamas, be my guest. I'll happily take them, thank you very much. But yeah, on to the ramble. Buckle in, grab a drink, let's get started and talk about what 2022 was like for the channel and elsewhere as well. So starting from this time last year, the first thing that I really mentioned about on the channel was the fact that my Muckluck banana enamel pins were available worldwide, which is I'm so glad I actually pulled my finger out and managed to do that and worked out all the customs labels and shipping things associated with that. It's not rocket science, but it was something I wasn't looking forward to. But hey, they were made available, and they still are. They are still available over on my Ko-fi page if anyone is interested in buying a little enamel pin. But anyway, on to the actual videos of the channel. That doesn't really count, I suppose. The first few videos were, of course, some more Simpsons hit and run and mod. And I think the previous year in terms of mods has just been insane. The quality of mods now are getting better and better and better. I mean, the most recent one I recorded was the mod of stupidity. And some of the things inside that mod, the gameplay mechanics they've done, the animations, the level design, you wouldn't even think you're still playing The Simpsons Hit and Run sometimes. It really, truly is impressive, and it kind of makes me excited for what there is in the future in terms of mods. I mean, I owe it all to these mod makers, right? There's nothing to do with me. I'm just playing them and recording them. All these mod makers are like the true champions here. So yeah, big thank you to all the mod makers for making that possible. And I hope you enjoyed watching all the mods. I mean, they by far are like the most popular things on my channel, and I'll get into my thoughts on that later on in the video. But to everyone that does watch those videos, thank you. After that, we had some bargain or bust. I only managed to make one bargain or bust last year, which is definitely not what I wanted. I did want to make more, but it just never happened. But the one I did make was of a movie tie-in special one, and yeah, I really like those. I mean, I think I've said it before. Those sort of edited, scripted videos are really what I am most proud of when I look back. I don't make them anywhere near as much as I should do because they obviously take more work and I get lazy and I'd rather just, record a mod or something like that. But those are the videos that I really do think I'm most proud of and I do want to do more of. They definitely won't be coming thick and fast, as evident by the one Bargain of Us video last year, but they are still on my radar to keep making. I guess it's just going to be a very slow and steady drip feed of those sort of things because they do take time and I do need to put a bit of effort into them. Which I suppose makes it sound like I put no effort into the rest of my videos, but that's not strictly true. I mean, the next one that came out was my fake Simpsons merch video where I bought loads of weird Simpsons related stuff from AliExpress and did a little show and tell and had a little intro in the beginning of that. And again, that's a video that I really like how that turned out. I think people really enjoyed watching that. It's kind of, I channeled my inner Ashens, who's a YouTuber that I've watched for years and years and years now. But it was just fun to try something very different. I mean, I'd never would have thought of doing that before on the channel to that sort of extent of actually going out and specifically buying stuff to show off. And it turned out really well, I think. People have asked about whether I'm going to do that again. I don't know, maybe there's room for something like that in the future, but I'm happy that we made that one video. And following on from that, we had videos like the Bamzuki Marge video and the Vegas Make It Big video. So these are videos that I actually wanted to make more of last year. I never really got round to it. But these sort of one-off edited videos, usually involving some sort of challenge or some sort of goal in mind. Those things I do like doing because you just play it for a bit and, you might have some good things in there, but then the magic is in the editing of it, taking this 2-hour block of footage and turning it into a 15-minute condensed, actual entertaining thing. I find that really satisfying, and that's what I hope to do more of this year. But yeah, I think those two videos came out really well. I really like the editing of some of them, like that Bamzuki one. The last 5 minutes of that where we're doing the Bamzuki Championships. I love doing all that, the stingers and the transitions and the leaderboard and the dramatic music. It brought me joy. It brought me joy making that. So I'm very keen to do anything like that again, for sure. I'm trying to keep this fast. I'm trying to keep this speedy. I don't want this to be a half-hour ramble because that's too long and I want to get on to asking you for some feedback, so I don't want to leave that too late in the video. Next up was Can I Beat, which was a brand new series I introduced to the channel last year. It kind of stemmed from an idea of wanting to look at myabandonware.com, which is where all these old games are hosted because they've run out of copyright or the people that made them, they've gone bust. It's just old software, old video games that you can just download and play. And I quickly realised that there are all these old game show games and trivia games and quiz shows on there. And I thought, hey, that might be quite fun to try out and see if I can win at any. Turns out it's actually a bit trickier than it seems. But, we had some fun playing Family Feud and The Weakest Link and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, The Crystal Maze, which a lot of people seemed interested in. Don't know why that one in particular, but loads of people love The Crystal Maze. It was a little bit different, and it was a way for me to show off how stupid I am when it comes to some trivia. Honestly, editing some of those, looking back, I was just face palming at some of the things I said. Oh, but I put my stupidity out there for your entertainment. So don't say I don't make any sacrifices for you, because I do. I do. And moving on to the last big series of the channel, it is of course my return to Let's Plays with the Return to Monkey Island. I just felt like it was the right thing to do that as a traditional Let's Play, just like I've done the other ones. And I also said at the time that it was going to be my sort of dipped toe in the water as to how I feel about Let's Plays and whether it's something I would want to pick up again or whether it's something I made the right choice in dropping a couple of years ago or so. And this is where things get a little bit complicated for the channel, especially for what's coming up ahead. I will just say now, we're in the reflecting stage of the video, so I really enjoyed Return to Monkey Island. I think it has its faults, which the longer I'm now going, having played it, the more I'm sort of feeling that and sensing that and reading other people's thoughts. I think, oh yeah, actually they're right. Maybe it was lacking in X, Y, or Z. But don't get me wrong, it was still an utter joy to go back to that universe and play as Guybrush and see the characters, and it was such a beautiful game to look at. Although it's not perfect, I really had a great time going back to that. I mean, I had to. I've got such a connection to Monkey Island now. I love all of the games in the series, really. There are stronger ones and weaker ones, obviously, but the whole series is something I really love playing. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the YouTube channel. There was lots on the second channel, more Muckluck, but that's because there was a lot on Twitch, and that's where I put all my Twitch VODs. So on Twitch, tons of stuff. We finished up Broken Sword 2, we played through Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure, which turned out to be a bit pants. We played through games like Unpacking, There Is No Game, Wrong Dimension, Broken Sword 3, and Destroy Humans 2, Reprobed, the remake to one of my most favourite games. You may have wondered, where is that? Like, why is that not on the main channel, Joe? And that's because I did make it pretty clear I did not want to have a third Let's Play of that game on the channel. So instead, I live streamed it. So if you actually want to go see me play through the remake of the second Destroy Humans game, it's all there on my second channel. But there was tons of other stuff too in between all those series. There was Oblivion and Pokemon, Dicey Dungeons, and hey, I even did my first ever proper The Simpsons Hit and Run speedrun last year. Not a very good time, but hey, I did it. But yeah, that was pretty much 2022 in a nutshell. I hope everyone enjoyed the stuff that came out. Let's talk about the year ahead. 2023, what does it have in store? I'm so glad that my anniversary is kind of so close to New Year's, because it does make it as a sort of new year, new me, New Year's resolution type stuff. Not that I necessarily stick to all the things I say in these videos, but it is a nice starting point at the beginning of the year to talk through this stuff and ask for everyone who's watching your feedback. Your feedback is so important to me. I'm sure most YouTubers will say, like, it just everything really relies on feedback. You can look at views and you can look at likes and stuff, and that's great. But there's nothing better than actually getting comments straight from people. So everything I say coming up now, please do let me know your thoughts on it. Don't feel like you're going to hurt my feelings or you want to hold back on something. Let loose. It's better me knowing than not knowing at all, basically. So let's get on to the first point, and this is the thing I really want to discuss, is Let's Plays. As I say, I used the Return to Monkey Island Let's Play as a sort of gauge for whether I want to maybe pick some more up in the future, and let me explain my reasoning for that. So I dropped Let's Plays a couple of years ago because I thought they were getting a bit samey and a bit repetitive, and I thought maybe I could try expanding the type of videos I make, more scripted videos and just all these other weird sorts of stuff. And what I didn't foresee, and I spoke about this I think last year, what I didn't foresee is that Let's Plays are very reliable, and so that means that you can always have something on the channel. There's a question as to whether quality versus quantity of things, but I don't like not having things uploaded in a long time. It just makes me feel sad. Like, I like to have a presence on YouTube. It just satisfies me to always have something uploaded. I guess that's just from doing it for 12 years in a row. There's a part of my brain that just is locked into that behavior. Maybe that's not healthy, I don't know. That I need to go sit on a couch for that and talk to someone. But Let's Plays does let me do that. So, you know, with the Monkey Island stuff at the end of last year, it was great having that consistent feed with all the other ones put in there in between. The Can I Beat stuff and the Simpsons Hit and Run mods. It was all sprinkled in, and it meant I was quite chock-a-block and consistent for that last part of the year. However, you can now argue, devil's advocate, mixing in that type of content, Let's Plays, doesn't really mesh with the others, and somewhere deep within the YouTube algorithm, it's going to see that, and it's going to see people watching one sort of thing and not the other, and it's going to affect my channel, right? There's no doubt about it, right? It probably doesn't work well algorithmically, but I just hate talking about YouTube in this regard, with algorithms and performance and views and growth. It's never been at the forefront of my mind to focus on that sort of stuff, and that has impacted me and my channel and where I'm at after 12 years, but I don't care. I just don't care. Like, I like to do what I do, and I like the people that interact with the stuff that I make. Anyway, long story short, what I'm trying to say with all this is part of me does want to make Let's Plays again. However, is there even an audience for it? And I think there maybe is, but only for a particular genre. And surprise, surprise, I think that genre is point and clicks. I think point and clicks, more than any other genre of video game, still makes sense to do as Let's Plays, because it is very story driven. I could not ever see doing a Let's Play now on something like a a James Bond game, like From Russia with Love. But with a point and click where there are stories and characters and a bit more nuance sometimes, that I could see work better. And I should also add a caveat that there would be no chance of these videos ever going back to 20-30 minutes long. I think at least an hour worked quite well with the Monkey Island stuff and meant it didn't take 40 parts to complete. It was done in 12. Could have even been done in quicker, I think. But yeah, they would definitely be longer form videos, but I part of me does think there is still room for that. And I know that there's a lot of people watching, it might even be you, that enjoys me playing those point and click games and want me to see some more classics from the past. And there's tons of point and clicks I have yet to play, from kind of indie ones to full-blown Sierra ones or LucasArts ones from the 90s. Tons that I haven't touched yet. If I were to look at those sort of videos on my analytics, they would not be anywhere near the top. They would not be very good. But the ones that are at the top, I don't want to necessarily just chase. And no surprises, Simpsons Hit and Run videos do the best on the channel. They get the most views, and I like playing the Simpsons Hit and Run, but I don't want to artificially chase after those views because that seems a bit forced and a bit fake, and I think you'd probably be able to tell that the heart wasn't necessarily in it. So anyway, this is rambling now and we're getting too long, so I'm going to just wrap this little section up by saying, what do you think about Let's Plays coming back? They would only be point and clicks though, really, and they probably wouldn't be as often as they were in the past, like back to back to back, but they would be sprinkled into the channel still. Would you watch them? Do you even care about Let's Plays? Do you even care about YouTube overall? Do you just stick to TikTok and Twitch? No, I'm joking. But yeah, I would like to know your feedback on that. Let's move on quickly. Next up is Simpsons Hit and Run and mods. I just spoke about those. They do well, those videos, view-wise, and I do enjoy playing the game. And I am going to continue playing mods for as long as there are mods being made. However, I have noticed that I have got through a large portion of mods made that I would consider YouTubeable, right? Like campaign mods that have full-blown missions and levels and things. I am slowly running out of them. There are a few from quite a few years back. We're talking maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But I think in comparison to the mods that we've played recently, those will seem quite, and I don't want to like bash them, but I just think it's because of the nature of how mods have improved that if we were to go back to those ones, I don't know, they might seem a bit simple and a bit rudimental in comparison, and I don't necessarily think they would make for very good videos. So if new mods come out and they look cool, I'll definitely play them, but the series probably will slow down in terms of output simply because there aren't as many to play. Unless I make my own mods. And I'm going to put this in here. Last year, around the middle of last year, I did mention in one of the Mod Spotlight videos that I was making my own mod, another one, following on from the Homer Cubed one. Just want to say now, I wasn't lying about that. I did get kind of headway into making a new mod, and I'm going to prove it by showing it on screen right now. Voila! I was making a mod based on the episode The Mysterious Voyage of Homer, where he goes into the desert place after eating the insanity pepper, and I was going to have the pyramid there in the middle, and I was going to have the coyote as a character and everything. I got pretty far in terms of the level design. It's just I started then thinking about levels and scripting them, and I got a bit confused. So I was planning on keeping that secret, but screw it, there it is. It does exist, and I will get back to it someday. But for now, it's on hold, I think, until I get the motivation back to finish it. Next up is Can I Beat? Will that continue for 2023? Yes, it will. Not all the way through it, obviously. I think it is going to end at some point relatively soon. But there are a few more games that I want to play that I've got on the list. So that will keep on going for a little while at least until a new series takes its place. And I've got a couple of ideas for a new series that could replace it. Maybe a bit of a focus on PS2 games or something along those lines. I do love the PS2. I should play more PS2 games and do more videos about the PS2. I mean, it's the console I grew up on. So there's a lot of nostalgia with it. And I think there's definitely a place for that sort of vibe on my channel. I would like to have that sort of cozy, nostalgic PS2 vibe. That's my goal, I think. So we'll see how that goes. One of the last things to talk about is Twitch, and there's not really much to say about Twitch. I recently had a nice redesign of my layout and added in some cool things that you can redeem using the Twitch redemption points. It's still once a week on average. Sometimes I might sneak in an extra one, or sometimes I might take a week off because I'm busy, but usually it's every week. The specific day I'm streaming on is unconfirmed at the moment, but it will probably go back to being at some point on a weekday, maybe something like Wednesday. But over there I'll be doing more full playthroughs of games. I've just started playing Sam & Max Hit the Road, maybe some more speedruns and Lego buildings and things like that. So Twitch will continue over on twitch.tv/Muckluck if you haven't followed me over there yet. And I do put all of the VODs over on my second channel, more Muckluck, in case you miss them. Right, well, that is pretty much everything I need to talk about. There is one extra little project that I shouldn't really talk about because I'm going to keep it a secret, so I'm not actually going to tell you anything. But I will say it will be revealed within the next week or so of watching this video, if you're watching it when it's been uploaded. So stay tuned for that. I will definitely make it clear what it is and where you can find it. And yeah, it's been really fun and I hope it's well received. I think there's quite a few people that will enjoy what it's focused on. Oh, how sneaky I'm being. Oh, you'll find out soon enough. Yes. Okay, that is actually going to do it now. I guess the last thing to say is, as I mentioned, please do give me your feedback. What do you want to see on the channel? Have I missed out anything? Am I not doing something you think I should be? Am I doing something you think I shouldn't be? Have you got any suggestions? Have you seen something on another channel you thought, hey, that's a cool idea, let's show that to Muck? Then be my guest, go ahead. I really do thrive on feedback, both positive and negative. It's often difficult to read negative feedback and not take it to heart too much, but it really is important, right? So don't just feel like you have to say nice things to me. I mean, yay, 12 years, it's all good. But I would much prefer honesty. I do want to keep on doing YouTube and I want to please people that watch the videos because you're what it's all about, right? I enjoy making this stuff, but I enjoy even more seeing the feedback and fostering this nice little community that we have here on YouTube and Twitch. A big thank you to everyone that has stuck by the channel and Twitch for the previous year, commenting, liking, subscribing, following on Twitch and subbing on there and donating on Ko-fi and buying the pins. It really has meant so much to me as it has done for the previous 11 years. So until next time, thank you all very much for watching and goodbye.